Hello everyone! Today I'll be teaching you about Arduino and electronics and making simple circuits with them. So there's gotta be a reason you decide to learn Arduino using this tutorial or even decide to learn Arduino at all. Maybe you just have an old Arduino kit collecting dust on your shelf, or maybe you just want to look cooler than your friends. Anyways, the point is that it doesn't matter. You just want to learn Arduino and electronics. This will be a tutorial series on how to use an Arduino, code with an Arduino, and do some basic electronics. More videos coming up. Before we begin, please download the Arduino IDE software. You need a few electronic components like a few wires, a few LEDs, a few resistors, a few push buttons and potentiometers, a USB cable for uploading your code from your computer to Arduino, an Arduino Uno board, a breadboard. Any type of breadboard is fine as long as it has terminals for positive and negative. As you can see, this runs along the whole breadboard. This breadboard is a do. This breadboard is a don't. You can see that it doesn't have lines for positive and negative. And last but not least, a 9-volt battery with a clip. All the links for these parts are in the description below. You can also get an Arduino kit that has more components to play around with. This video will introduce you to the Arduino company and make some simple circuits. We don't need the Arduino IDE or USB cable in this video today, but you should buy them anyways for future tutorials. Let's go through a brief history on electronics and microprocessors. Somewhere around the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries, a scientist named Alessandro Volta invented the world's first battery. It was mass-produced and used in electrical applications and circuits to this day. Alright, that was a brief history about electronics and electricity. What about microprocessors? Well, these are microcontrollers, not microprocessors. They can easily be mistaken for one or the other. Back then, before the Arduino company was founded, we had microcontrollers. However, coding them was tedious, repetitive, slow, and unreliable. You'd need extra hardware to upload the code onto the microcontroller and do a lot of soldering. But when Arduino boards were invented and the company was founded, the Arduino boards were a game changer. Now coding wasn't limited to special programmers, but kids as well. Man, that was a lot of explaining. Why don't we move on to building some circuits so that I don't bore you? The circuit we will make firstly is this LED circuit. Firstly, grab a breadboard with the negative and positive rails. Grab a resistor. Grab an LED. Three wires. Your 9-volt battery with your clip should just clip on tightly. And lastly, your Arduino Uno board. So firstly, you'll be connecting 2 wires to ground right here and 5 volts. You can find them in the power section of your Arduino. Next, you'll be connecting the positive and negative wire. So blue is connected to ground, and that's why it's connected to the negative rail of my breadboard. Same goes for the red wire. Next, you'll be grabbing your resistor and connecting it to one of these rails right here. Columns. One of the columns. Next, connect your LED's long end, or the cathode, to the resistor, which is attached to the positive end. And then grab another wire, connect it to the negative, connect it to the anode, or the short end, of the LED, like the rail it's corresponding to, just like the resistor and LED, and connect it to the negative negative rail of the breadboard. And then grab your 9-volt battery with clip and watch as your LED turns on and glows in front of you. Maybe you've realized that after you connect your 9-volt battery or power source to the Arduino, your LED is not turning on. Well, one common mistake that most beginners do is that they accidentally connect the LED vertically to the column they connected the resistor and negative wire to. A simple way of fixing this is by putting the LED on the same horizontal column you connected your resistor to, and also by moving up your negative wire. But after you make these changes, you probably realize that your LED is still not turning on. As you can see, my power source is connected. Maybe that's because you connected your LED the wrong way. Maybe you connected the short end to the resistor, which is connected to positive, the anode, which is supposed to go to negative, and the cathode, which is going to positive, instead going to negative. A simple way to fix this is by flipping the LED so that it's connected to positive and negative. Now your LED should turn on. If the LED doesn't turn on even after making these changes, you should rewind this video section to make changes. Maybe your LED is faulty. Maybe your breadboard is faulty. And maybe your Arduino is faulty. Anyways, that's all for today's video tutorial. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next Arduino tutorial, where we learn about push buttons and potentiometers and make circuits with them.